Hey guys, welcome to Word of the Day. This is Caesar with Inspire Movement. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. Today we're going to tackle the word cynicism. So cynicism is an inclination to believe that people are motivated purely by self-interest. It can also mean skepticism. There's a lot of ways in which being cynical can affect the brain. One of which is it increases the state of stress that you are basically succumbing to. With stress, we know it leads to things like coronary heart disease. It certainly reduces your lifespan, and it compromises your autoimmune system. Another thing that cynicism does to the brain is it stifles creativity because nothing's ever good enough. It also overworks the brain because you're always expecting the worst, constantly. It also basically makes it more likely that you will go into bad behaviors such as excessive drinking and smoking. It increases your propensity for anxiety and depression. And lastly, it increases your propensity for dementia when you go into older age. What are some ways in which we can try to overcome things like being cynical? Well, the first thing is that you have to admit to it, right? You have to actually come to the conclusion that, hey, I am overtly cynical and I need to work on this and I want to do something about it. Another thing that you could do is embrace positivity. It sounds easy, but if you're hardwired to be cynical, it's going to be certainly an uphill climb. Practice gratitude, which we've talked about many, many times before. Surround yourself with really positive people. Try to look for the best qualities in people instead of always pointing out a point of judgment. So those are certainly ways that we could use to try to overcome being a cynical person. For me, as I reflect on cynicism, I think that when we are cynical in life, we have some basically self-defense mechanism, which is being cynical, that's masking something that happened early on with someone or maybe a couple of people that hurt us really badly, and we haven't really resolved that within us. So essentially being cynical and being so distrustful of everybody around us in all situations is just a way to protect ourselves from further harm. That's the way that I kind of assimilate it. Now that's a very exhausting way to live, right? Like imagine everybody that's around you, there's something wrong with them, they're looking to do something bad or vile to me. That's a really stressful, heightened stress way to live. So obviously you could see why that would lead to so many health implications down the line. It affects your health, obviously, but it also affects your career, possibly your earnings, and your really, really intimate relationships. So certainly doing something to counter that, like we talked about before, in a healthy way is to our better benefit. I think that if you are falling into cynicism, I think it's easy to think that there's a whole bunch of people that are bad, but I think if that were true, then we'd have sort of like a systemic shutdown the world over because everybody's trying to do harm. And I don't think that's exactly true. I think while there are some people that have some form of bad intention towards us, the large majority of people are kind and honorable and don't want to harm us in any way. So I think that's my take on it. Hopefully there's some form of connection that you can make with some of these reflections and that some of the things that we mentioned are useful to you. As you know, we take a lot of pride and honor to be able to share these thoughts with you. If you haven't linked with us before, please do so and check us out at www.inspiremovement.com, where we will continue putting a lot of interesting content, as well as on our YouTube channel and on other social media platforms such as our Instagram and Facebook. With that, I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for tuning in for another segment. Thank you.